interesting comment on the video that I did earlier on today from Mike. Not any of the Mikes that do the videos on here, but a subscriber, Mike Travels. I don't know where Mike travels to, but that's his name. He said, I wonder what Nuno Espirito Santo will do about Jarrod Bowen as captain. Will he keep him as captain? I thought, oh, now that's a great shout. That is a great shout. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The truth of the matter is I was never a massive fan of Jarrod Bowen being captain of West Ham. Let's get this right. I love him. I think he's West Ham's best player. And I hope he stays here for a long, long time. There's so much. I haven't got a bad word to say about Jarrod Bowen. But two things. Number one, he's quiet. Number two, I just don't like... Ideally, no wide player being captain. Certainly not someone sort of wide right or whatever. Ideally, it's a central defender or a central midfielder for me because you can just influence more things. And ideally, somebody that is vocal. What you want to do is you want to be the manager's voice on the pitch. But one thing I did sort of think about after reading Mike's comment was what I do know is, well, I hope, I suspect that Nuno Espirito Santo will get the very best out of Jarrod Bowen. I do wonder if we are about to get our Bowen back. Now, whether that's as captain or not, I do think we're about to get him back. I've been, saying for a little while, I thought that Graham Potter made players worse. And I would definitely include Jarrod Bowen in that. I think the only thing is that Jarrod Bowen's ceiling is so high, his starting point is so high that even when he drops lower, you're still getting the goals, you're still getting the assists, he's still able to impact games, as we've seen. By the way, I don't think Lopetegui got the best out of him either. I don't think Lopetegui knew what to do with him. And I think, Bowen is so good, there was just this temptation for Potter to at the start, certainly play him up front. And then when he went wide, we just didn't attack enough under Potter for us to really see the best of Bowen. We've seen Bowen at his best in a counter-attacking system. Now, it doesn't have to be that, by the way, but I do think that's what we're going to get with Nuno at the helm. But we saw it with England when he came on as a substitute in the last England game earlier this month. England weren't counter-attacking at that point. They had possession, but he was still really good. He's really improved himself, Bowen. First touch, pass and move, his technique. He just works and works and works, doesn't he? Carries on working at his game. And actually, I think he's going to continue to get better. That's how good I think Jarrod Bowen is. But I did look at it and think, yeah, absolutely. I do think we're going to see the very best of Jarrod Bowen. I really do believe that. I mean, the Potter thing, in terms of him making everybody worse, I really do. I thought there was a point last season where it could be argued that he'd made Lucas Paqueta better. Not now. I'm struggling to think of anybody who he has turned into a better player. I really can't. Maybe you can. And as I look at it, I thought this when I was watching against Crystal Palace. I really like Mathias Fernandes. I think Mathias Fernandes is a really good player, talented player, but he needs to be brought out of his shell. And I think it's not a case of do I think Nuno could do that. I think almost anyone can do that. I've seen enough of maybe Elliot Anderson. I mentioned him in the video earlier on. But also, if you remember Neves at Wolves under Nuno, he knows what he's doing, and I think he'll get the best out of him. But I did wonder, I found my mind drifting to Potter almost just reducing the level of Fernandes as well. And I can make that point for pretty much everyone. Now, if you're going to make that point, then you've got to ask yourself, well, in which case, is anybody going to be made better by the new coach? And I think, yes, I've mentioned before, there's a really easy win for whoever comes in. And that is, are you going to be able to improve the team incrementally very, very early? Well, there's an easy win. Immediately sort out set pieces, both us taking them and defending against them. And you're going to get more of an uplift. The team will be better. By what margin? I don't know, but you've immediately got an uplift. I certainly think if you can just even improve each player by 5-10%, you're going to get immediate uplift. But also the other thing is, what about morale? That morale was on the floor. Like anybody who watched our on Patreon. So last week when I did a behind the scenes. I went to the game last week. I did a behind the scenes video which I put up on Patreon, and which is still available now. If you want to go and give Patreon a look, it's £3.60 a month is our lowest tier. Got loads of additional videos over there and lots of additional content and competitions and that sort of thing. And the link's in the description below, by the way, patreon.com/HammersChat. But for anyone that saw that, I was very lucky because of our wonderful sponsors, ETC Sports. I was lucky to get a seat right next to the dugout, and I took my camera with me, and I was looking at the dugout, and they were not a happy bunch. And I don't just say that. I would expect any bench to be miserable once you're getting beaten. But before that, from the moment they came out in the warm-up, the whole lot, and I was particularly looking at Fulkrug, looking at Tadibo, who didn't start, of course. They did not look happy. Guilherme did not look happy. There were a lot of players who just looked completely and utterly fed up. And even to the point where, gave him a look, and when we went to 1-1, he just wasn't mirrored by what we were seeing over on the Crystal Palace bench. And I just thought there was such a lethargy, such a lack of energy from the West Ham players. I think there's another easy win there. Just morale, do you know what? As terrible as it sounds to say it, just the players being ready and excited about turning up for work is something. I know there's a lot of people who think, well, hold on a second, they're paid a ridiculous amount of money. That much is true. I'm not saying they don't turn up for work, but irrespective of how much money you're paid, whether you're paid tuppence or whether you're paid £1 million, you're still probably going to do better if you enjoy what you're doing. And I didn't get the impression that any of the players were particularly enjoying what they were being asked to do. I don't think any of them sort of really understood what they were doing with Graham Potter's tactics. You don't have to take my word for it. It can be seen. I'm not even sure what we were trying to do. The statistics are damning. I mentioned them earlier. I think 25 games, 6 wins, 5 draws, a million losses. See, my maths failed me then. It's just terrible, and I do think whoever we got in was going to be able to improve on that. I'm not sure where Graham Potter's going to go from here, by the way. I was listening to Sky Sports earlier, and Kaveh Solokol was on there, who, of course, is their chief football correspondent. And he was basically saying, Graham Potter's talent and his tactics is not in question. Graham Potter will get another job. And I think one thing he said was right, which is just because you fail at West Ham doesn't mean you're a bad manager. I do agree with that. I think West Ham is a hard job. That being said, I've not been impressed at all with what I've seen. And I don't think he does just walk into another job. Not at the top level anyway. I can't imagine when whoever, I don't know, let's say Vitor Pereira. I know he's just got a new contract, or we can use Scott Parker or whatever example. Let's say the next manager that gets sacked. Is that club then going to look and think, oh, do you know what, we'll hire Graham Potter? No way. It's just not going to happen, is it? He's not. I think he's really damaged his reputation. And we spoke about this before. It was a really good opportunity for David Moyes to come to West Ham, and his 2 stints, he repaired his reputation from Sunderland when it was really, really down in the deepest depth, as they say. And then he comes to West Ham, he repairs his reputation, and trophy and European football. You get to that point, any Premier League club who's looking to get a manager, David Moyes is going to be a consideration, of course. And I think after Chelsea, Potter needed to get, whether it's the right club, the right job, it doesn't matter. He just had to perform. He had to be able to turn around and say, that job there at Chelsea, that was an anomaly. Just in the same way that David Moyes was able to say, that was Sunderland. That wasn't me. That was Sunderland. That's why they struggled. And I don't think that Graham Potter walks into a job. I've got no ill feeling towards the man at all, by the way. Good luck to him. He's got a massive payoff for £40 million net from Chelsea, and I keep mentioning it because I can't quite believe how much money it is. It's a crazy amount of money, of course. And then he's got whatever payoff, probably £3 million from West Ham or something. He lives down by the seaside. Honestly, good luck to him. If I was him, if I could stop working and live by the seaside, I absolutely would. I don't. So, no animosity towards him whatsoever. But I just think he was rubbish. Let's be fair. He was rubbish. I think even say, the wrong man at the wrong time. I think even that probably gives it a little bit more allowance that it deserves. I think he was poor. I don't think he had a clue what to do. I think his ethos and his way of doing things was outdated. I don't think he responded quickly enough to the trends in the Premier League. I don't think he reacted quickly enough to the things that were unfolding before him, actually during the game. I think last season, yes, did he sort out our defence? Yes, but it was the expense of us attacking. We had the worst attack in the league, and then now we get to this season, we got the worst defence in the league, and it's not like we're scoring loads of goals either. So I struggled, and by the way, that's the attack, that's the defence I've just covered. I also thought in the midfield was crap as well. Apart from that, it was all very good. I can't see any way that Nuno Espirito Santo doesn't improve on that. Am I excited by the football? No, but I tell you what, I am excited to be looking forward to the game again, if that makes any sense. I haven't been looking forward to games. I didn't think we had a realistic chance of winning. I do not like the fact that Karen Brady, it's been mentioned, Karen Brady led the charge and led the recruitment process for Nuno Espirito Santo. She's responsible. Well done. What would you want? Do you want a pat on the back? Congratulations for fixing what you broke anyway. It was her that, pretty much forced Graham Potter upon us. So I can't give her any credit for doing this. We don't even know if he's going to work out yet at West Ham, do we? But I'm feeling a lot more positive about it. And I was dreading Monday, absolutely dreading it. And now I've got to say, I'm actually, at the very least, I'm intrigued. I will say that much. I'm intrigued to see what he will do. And yes, there is a part of me that's looking forward to it as well. So anyway, look, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I may or may not be back with another video tomorrow. I'm gonna pop and see my folks now. I'm just about to drive down the M3, pop and see my folks. So enjoy whatever you're doing for the remainder of the day, and I will probably catch up with you tomorrow. But yeah, I think as things stand now, Nuno Espirito Santo, my choice, no, but I'm feeling a lot better about the whole relegation situation now. And do you know what? West Ham don't have to appoint my choice. I don't think we ever will. And I guess I've got to be happy, haven't I? Because my choice of player that I really wanted to sign in the summer was Matheus Fernandes, and we've signed him. So I guess I've got something that I wanted anyway. All I really ask now for is a little bit of competency from West Ham's coaching and coaching staff. And I do believe we'll get that. And I think if we get that, our players are good enough, plus whatever. I mean, they better bloody back him. It's a video for another day. They better back him in January, by the way. Let me say that now. I'm not going to get angry about something that hasn't happened yet. But I do believe with the good players that we've got, competency should be enough to see us up.